Hi everyone, this is Dan, and this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Ultimate Collection Volume 3. And today we're going over the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, not this, because this is falling apart. Thanks, IDW. But book number 20. So this is by, again, Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird. Art by Jim Lawson. And I think, I forget the other dude. I think it's Levine. Or no, I think that Levine is the letterer. Anyhow, this particular issue was laid out by Peter Laird, and I think the previous issue was laid out by Kevin Eastman. Again, so this is book 2 of the Return to New York saga, and last we left off the Turtles, so Raph had decided to go on his own to get revenge on Shredder. The rest of the Turtles following in tow, and when they finally catch up to Raph, they find, they reunite with an old enemy, or I guess you think it's an enemy. So you get this great double-page spread of just the face of this Triceraton, who in this case goes by the name of, and you can see in the eyes, the damage, all the other stuff. This is not a healthy Triceraton. This is a fucked up dude. So it opens up and we see here, this is Zog. He's barely speaking coherent sentences, knows all, says all this other stuff. And you just, it's interesting how Laird kind of lays out this thing where everything is kind of driven by Zog, and you're kind of seeing this basically barely conscious soldier, guide the Turtles along, almost like Virgil from Dante's Inferno in a way, right? So here he goes, going through the sewers, chasing around, still thinking he's fighting for the Triceraton Republic, right? But not at all. You go through and you get, what's really interesting about this, check this out. So he's tapping the ground right here, and he knows there's a secret passage. But if you take a look at this, you can see that this is actually one entire, full page background, right? And then there's these interior panels right here that tell the story. You can see all this, dead bodies and an alligator and shit. It's what the fuck? Oh, it's freaking nuts, man. And then, he breaks through through the floor, and here they break into a foot stronghold, and they go fighting. And here's Zog basically letting loose. Fan left, watch the crossfire. Pick your targets, move it, grunts. And of course, he's barely alive. And Raph is able to kind of calm him down. And then there's he acknowledges Raphael, calls him Commander Zoraph, awaiting further orders. He's constantly coughing and laughing, as if he's barely even there for the most part. You have Donatello hacking into the computers to find out where the Foot are hiding. And then you get to see that this Hudson block here, I get this nice little 3D image that they kind of generated. Almost looks like old school AutoCAD right here. And they, are able to... determine that this building is basically a facade, and that inside is a whole bunch of rooms and everything, and they're determining here that Orokusaki Shredder must be in here. We'll need a diversion to get through. So Donatello's kind of looking at the plan, and then he kind of realizes here's a good spot. And then I like the facial expression by Donnie here. It's we'll attack. It's kind of pretty good right here. So again, fast-moving issue. Again, this is classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, compressed, but the art is just freaking propelling the story forward. So you don't or decompressed, I should say. So you don't really mind so much. And just, look at the balls on freaking Laird and Eastman right here. Zero fucks given. I'm going to do a big double-page spread with interior panels right here. I've always to me, when I think of double-page spreads, I always think of these type of double-page spreads, where it's not just one double-page spread, but you have all of these interior panels telling a story along with the big background right here. You can almost basically have both characters moving, to the next scene, having a conversation, thinking to themselves, while also creating an establishing thought or an establishing shot, and basically presenting you the world as it is, right? And interesting here, Donnie's basically mentioning that creature is completely insane and should not be alive. It's hard to believe he survived, gone unseen all this time. Our air alone eats at his brain like cancer. He's a walking time bomb. So for those of you who don't remember the TCRI saga and the Triceraton arc in the earlier part of the Turtles, they kind of ran into these creatures when they got sucked into space X-Men style. What essentially they're kind of like a warrior race, kind of like gladiatorial Rome. And they don't survive very well in the atmosphere on Earth native. And this Triceraton somehow sneaked onto Earth's atmosphere and was able to hide out in the sewers, kind of waiting for the Triceraton invasion. Meanwhile, Earth's atmosphere and the oxygen basically rotted his brain out, so that's why he's barely coherent right now. So they move forward, and he's able to use his blaster, what's remaining of his blaster's energy, to break through right here. And he's incredibly strong right here. I love how, even though the cover shows like white eyes on the Triceraton, they purposely make his eyes black to show just kind of how out of it he is, right? Compared to the original Triceratons from the TCRI arc. We got a target. So they open up, they sneak through. 2-0 done. You got right here. So it's a lot of like small conflicts of them running into small groups through most of this issue. And usual turtle expression, but then they got a Triceraton walking around with them, basically being the freaking tank of the party. Yeah, and then they screw up and end up in essentially a dojo section. End up having to fight all these dudes right here. I love, like, again, here we go, is the same trickery here. This is really brilliant. So this is a full page splash. So the background panel shows, I think this might be Raph. He's giving him the freaking double eye poke right here. But meanwhile, you got, Raph right here. There's Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo, everybody in action. You can almost like go back and look at these panels over and over again, just because of the construction of them is really, really unique. So you got another one right here. This is Donatello keeping the guys there. And this is one that really freaked me out. I didn't realize this till I read through this page multiple times, but it's Raphael, and then you see him with only one side right here, because you don't realize this first one is a full page background spread panel, and he throws a freaking sign and kills this dude over here. It's like freaking brilliant layout designs. Just freaking brilliant layout designs. I just like how Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman just don't give a fuck. They're just gonna have all kinds of fun with the layout and really be innovative, be interesting in how they try to design and tell the story with their pictures, right? And this is kind of the way you have to be if you're going to take a lot of pages to show fight scenes and do all this other stuff. This is kind of the way you're going to have to do it, right? You can't just keep having panel after panel of the same angle or the same shot or the same face, right? So Zog goes crazy, shoots the hell out of everybody, walks out of this. Zog rules. They walk through, they hijack a truck right here, go driving through. It's man, everything is flying in this issue into the valley of death right here. Donnie's being very poetic. They end up breaking out, running into all these ninjas. I like how these freaking guys have this looks like, I don't know what gun this looks like. Is this it's not an MP5. It looks like something. But they all got the ninjas with semi-automatic, or submachine guns is really interesting. Kind of turn the tables on you. It's more like Yakuza ninjas right here. But yeah, you can see here Zog's getting kind of jacked up right here. Bugs, too many. And he's just, take no prisoners. And he eventually, finally, his alien blaster runs out of energy. And long live the Republic. And he just starts running over people with his horns and stuff. Rock, kill bugs, total destruction, follow me to victory. And you can tell he's bleeding, he's falling apart. You can see the subtle sway right here. And you walk here, there's blood all over the place. It's kind of holding onto the walls. Onward, Zog knows. And there it is. You see these shadows right here. It's obviously Splinter or something that looks like Splinter, right? And then this whirlwind action right here. This is a great illustration. You see the speed lines of the claws flowing through here, and then there's this is like a white ink splatter that's going on right here over the major ink line, or the major ink work. And you can see here, long live the Republic. And then he falls, and that's the end of him. The turtles come by, and they're like, no, Zog, poor creature. You know, in many ways, it's like, it's interesting because up until this point, you wouldn't feel yourself feeling any sort of sympathy toward a Triceraton, especially after you've done reading the TCRI. But this is like how to tell pictures, or tell a story with pictures, right? And really create emotion through essentially a beast that, you know, doesn't even have human, you know, facial expression at all, right? Then you get the final ending splash page right here. Classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle double page spread to kind of freak you out and geek you out about what's coming right here. Holy shit. It's like 3 mutant shredders. And that's the issue. Overall, I like this one actually more than the first one, because I think the sequential art was even more innovative than the issue number 19. The layouts by Peter Laird here are just freaking unreal. Just freaking unreal. So yeah, definitely awesome issue. And honestly, I ended up really liking Zog at the end of it, despite his tragic demise right there. Anyhow, let's get to the art. So talked about Zog a lot. Let's draw Zog, shall we? So I got my pencils right here. So this one right here was mostly penciled with, again, 0.5. I think this time around, it's not, even though it says 3H right now, I actually did this with a HB. Though from here on out with 0.5, I'll be using the 3H. I like it a lot more. And then did a little bit of shading and toning with my 2B. So I'm going to keep my soft lead on 0.7 and my hard lead on 0.5. And I think that's a pretty golden combination. So anyway, let's get to the inks. 3, 2, 1. And here we go, inks. So in this case, I was kind of going for a certain type of shading technique. I was trying to aim for light coming down right here, most of the shading being on this side. Looking at it right now, one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to replicate the black eyes that Eastman, Laird, and Lawson do in this issue. I think it's really, really interesting and very, I think it draws a lot of attention to the Triceraton design, more so than the standard white eyes that you tend to see in the Turtles comics, right? So again, following kind of the same design, he's got a triangle patch on his shoulder, his sleeve is kind of ripped. I gave him a rip right here and some blood and guts all over the place. Kind of wanted to put more rendering right here, but I kind of, after a while I was like, yeah, but I'm going to color this. So you over render to a degree and it kind of makes the colors almost feel like too much after a while, especially if you're going to be, you know, using, you know, one of these things. But anyhow, that's the inks for the most part. Most of this was done with a 0.05, and then a lot of, well, not my brush, but a lot of the good old point, well, not that one, the 0.1. Where are you? Oh, definitely a lot of 0.3 too. Anyhow, colors in 3, 2, 1. And there you go, colors. So pretty straightforward, kind of stuck with the color scheme on the cover. So it's kind of like a dark blue. Maybe could have went with a purple right here with a the yellow symbols, and then a slightly darker yellow for the gun. He has kind of a brown skin with some orange sort of tint to it. So that's what I kind of went. I went with a really dark brown and then went over it with an orange to try to give it a little more tone and character. A bit of a flat color job right here, but for the most part, you don't really need a lot for what the character is trying to be designed for. So kind of just stuck with it. At least the intention from Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman. Anyhow, that's the video, guys. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. You got any comments about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 20 or my art? Leave it down below, and I will see you next time.